Hi friends, welcome back to Curious Vet. I am Dr. Mausina. In today's video, we will learn a new topic, looping ill in animals. So what is looping ill? Looping ill or ovine encephalomyelitis is an acute tick-transmitted viral disease of the central nervous system. The disease primarily affects sheep and red grouse. Red grouse is shown here in this picture. It is a bird. But cattle, goat, horse, dogs, pigs, South American camelids and people can also be affected by tick bites or exposure to tissues or instruments contaminated with virus. Disease is seen throughout the British Isles wherever the vector tick is Ixodes ricinus, that is very important. So wherever the vector tick, the disease is prevalent, but especially in rough hill grazing. Diseases of sheep and goat indistinguishable from looping ill and caused by similar viruses have been reported in Norway, Spain, Turkey and Bulgaria. Now let's see the etiology and transmission. The virus belongs to Flaviviridae family, part of an antigenetically closely related complex of viruses known as the tick-borne encephalitis. Primarily associated with disease in people and distributed throughout the northern temperate regions. Infection is transmitted transstadially by the tick vector. Transovarian transmission of looping ill virus does not appear to occur, so the transmission is transstadial. Although different strains of looping ill viruses have been identified by genome sequencing, none appear specific to any of the susceptible species. In sheep flocks, mortality ranges from 60% in newly introduced stock to 5 to 10% in sheep acclimatized to the pasture. On farms where the disease is endemic, losses are mainly confined to animals less than 2 years old. Adults tend to be immune as a result of previous infection. Lambs are protected in their first season by cholesterol antibody. However, when the disease appears for the first time or after a lapse of several years, all ages of sheep are susceptible. Mortality is variable in other species but tend to be high in red grouse. All species of vertebrates that come in contact with questing ticks may become parasitized and infected with looping ill virus. But only sheep and red grouse develop titers of viremia sufficient to pass the infection to the vector tick. That is very important. Only sheep and red grouse develop the titers of viremia sufficient to pass the infection. Infection also can spread through contact with contaminated instruments or tissues. Infected lactating goats can secrete high titers of virus in their milk, which may cause fatal infection of their kids and be a potential human health hazard. Now let's move on to the pathogenesis, clinical findings and lesions. The cause of infection in all species is similar and varies only in the intensity of viremia and frequency with which the clinical signs develop. After inoculation by an infected tick, virus initially replicates in the lymphoid tissues, which give rise to viremia that lasts 1 to 5 days. Only animals that develop high titers can transfer the virus to ticks. And the animals that can develop high titers are sheep and red grouse. During viremia, a febrile reaction may be present, but overt clinical signs are generally absent until the virus enters the CNS and begins replication, even though the immune response has eliminated the virus from the extraneuronal tissues. The extent of neuronal damage consequent to viral replication determine the severity of signs from non-clinical, non or subclinical to varying degrees of neurologic dysfunction to sudden death. Histologic lesions may be present whether or not signs develop. Coming to the clinical signs, there will be fine muscular tremors, nervous nibbling, ataxia particularly of the hind limbs as shown in this picture, weakness, collapse. Death may occur 1 to 3 days after onset of signs. Peracute deaths may also occur with few histologic lesions present. In some recovered animals, residual paresis or torticollis may persist. All recovered animals are solidly immune for life. The severity of clinical disease in animals recently infected with Anaplasma phagocytophilum, the cause of tick-borne fever, is markedly increased, presumably because of the immunosuppressive effect of this organism. So, in animals which are recently infected with Anaplasma phagocytophilum, the severity is markedly increased. The accompanying pathology may be complex and associated with secondary bacterial and mycotic infection, accounting for the high mortality experienced with Nave flocks and introduced to tick-infested pasture. No specific gross lesions are present, although secondary pneumonia may develop. Histologic examination of CNS usually show a non-separative lymphocytic polioencephalomyelitis with lesions throughout the brain, but predominantly in the brainstem. Now let's see the pathology associated with infection of looping ill virus. Subacute polioencephalitis observed in the brain of a British sheep is shown here. Note the perivascular cuffing shown by arrow, neuronophagia, evacuation of neuronal cytoplasm, and gliosis. Also here shows the non-separative encephalitis in goat affected by looping ill. You can see the specimen from four structures, that is cerebellum with necrosis of Purkinje fibers marked by A. Then midbrain, area of neurophagia surrounded by microglial cells marked by B, and lymphoid perivascular cuff in midbrain marked by C. And the last one is spinal cord gray matter, focal microgliosis. Now let's move on to diagnosis. Neurologic clinical signs in association with exposure to ticks is suspicious of disease. Antemortem diagnosis is by serologic testing, differentiating IgM from IgG predominance by hemagglutination inhibition to show recent infection. Looping ill normally is seen only in animals that have had access to tick-infested pasture. However, the variable clinical picture necessitates differentiation from other conditions that cause locomotor or neurologic dysfunction. Confirmation can be done by histologic examination of the brain, immunohistochemistry using specific monoclonal antibody, virus detection in CNS tissue by polymerase chain reaction PCR, and last is serology. Whole brain should be fixed in formaldehyde solution 10% in saline, and sections should be examined for the characteristic lesions which can provide a presumptive diagnosis that is confirmed by immunohistochemistry. For routine diagnosis, virus isolation is now seldom undertaken and has been replaced by RT-PCR. This requires a piece of brainstem or proximal spinal cord to be collected into virus transport medium and dispatched to a suitable diagnostic laboratory. Measurement of serum neutralizing and hemagglutination inhibition antibodies also can help reach a diagnosis and for surveys. The presence of IgM antibody in cattle and sheep serum detected by hemagglutination inhibition test by comparison with the heat inactivated aliquot of sera or plasma provides good evidence that the animal was infected within the preceding 10 days. Coming to the treatment and control, no specific treatments or vaccines are currently available, but nursing, hand feeding, minimizing the external stimuli, and sedation may be helpful. An inactivated tissue culture propagated vaccine has successfully protected sheep, cattle and goat, but it is no longer available, and development of a recombinant vaccine is only in the early experimental phase. Colostrum from the vaccinated and presumably recovered and now immune ewes prevent infection of lamb in their first months. Ideally, all animals to be retained for breeding would be vaccinated at 6 to 12 months of age. Use of insecticidal dips to protect against exposure to ticks generally is inadequate. Although pour-on preparations reduce exposure and their systemic use may effectively reduce the abundance of ticks and prevalence of virus infection. Now coming to the zoonotic risk of looping ill. Looping ill virus infection of people can cause severe encephalomyelitis. Symptoms are biphasic. The initial flu-like symptoms are replaced 4 to 5 days later with signs of encephalitis. People become infected through the bite of infected ticks or through contact with infected carcass, sharp instruments or aerosol. Only a few cases of natural transmission have been reported, most occurring in laboratory workers. Those engaged in diagnosis or research of this virus should be vaccinated with a human vaccine against tick-borne encephalitis virus. Because goat can excrete high titers of virus in their milk, goats kept for milk production in endemic areas must be vaccinated, and development of a new vaccine is paramount. Now, before winding up, let's see the key points once again. Looping ill is a viral infection that often causes fatal encephalitis. It is an acute tick-transmitted viral disease of central nervous system. The disease primarily affects sheep and red grouse, but cattle, goat, horse, pig, dog, and South American camelids and people can also be affected. No specific treatments or vaccines are currently available. So that's all about looping ill or ovine encephalomyelitis. If the video is informative and useful, please like it and share it with your friends. And comment your suggestions. If you are new to this channel or not subscribed yet, please subscribe and click the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a video. I will be uploading at least one video every week. So see you soon with another video. Thank you.